We do have one presentation today. These items are, they don't require an action by the board, but are informative for the board and for the public. These items are an opportunity for the public to hear what each department within Mesa County is responsible for and what they're working on. This week, our department overview, we will have the Clerk and Recorder's office here to present. Good morning, Bobbie. You can come on up and present.
Good morning, commissioners. Thank you for inviting me to come and highlight what the Clerk and Recorder's office does. So the Clerk and Recorder's office is responsible for 4 divisions. We oversee clerks of the board, recording, motor vehicle, and elections. So we have a variety of different departments that we oversee and that we are constantly doing updates for. So clerks of the board oversees the Board of County Commissioner meetings. They also oversee marijuana licensing, liquor licensing, and they also help the assessor hold abatement hearings and appeals for property values. So that's what our clerk to the board does. And motor vehicle, what we've seen in motor vehicle is we're projected to collect a little over $2.8 million this year. We offer services in person, online, and by mail. So we just got our appointment system up and running. So now if you don't want to wait in line, you can make an appointment to come see us. And we have different transactions that you can make appointments for, such as title transfers. If you have special mobile machinery transactions, new residents, manufactured homes, persons with disabilities, and bonding or tow bills and new plates. So you can make all those appointments on our website. And so we're pretty pleased about that. We have that opportunity to update that. In our statistical data, so we looked at how many vehicles that we had registered in 2022. We had over 216,000 vehicles registered in 2022. And in 2023, that increased to around 222. So we're seeing a trend of about 3% every year is what we're seeing our growth become in motor vehicle. And if you look at the graphs, we have it broke down of where the transactions happen. So by each office we have. So for the public that doesn't know, we have one at our main office at 200 South Spruce Street. We have one in Fruita that's open Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Civic Center. And we have our Clifton office, which is at the Peachtree Shopping Center that's open 5 days a week. So if you look at the data, it tells us where people mainly go to do their transactions. And mainly it's our main office at 200 South Spruce Street. Online, you can see that it's pretty much, it increases a little bit every year. We'd like to see more people go online to do their transactions. They can do a variety of things of getting a duplicate title, or they can renew or even register their new vehicle. We mail them the plate. So there's a lot of online options out there, but the public really likes to come in and see us. So it's kind of interesting, the statistical data that we have with each office. What's new and upcoming with motor vehicle is they are gearing up for a software upgrade in 2026. We have staff members that will be testers, so we'll be testing that system in 2025 to make sure that when it rolls out that we don't have any issues with that in 2026. With that upgrade, one of the new legislations that passed is you can sign up for electronic notifications for your renewals, so you don't have to worry about getting that postcard in the mail. You can sign up for electronic notifications. So we're starting to collect that data now. So when you come to our office, we might ask if you want to give us an email so that we can have that for the future upgrades. We can start sending out those renewal notices electronically. And you can, when it rolls out, you'll be able to opt in for both. So you can get the electronic notice and the renewal notice, or you can just get electronic notice. So you have that option to still do both or one or the other. So we're excited about that. We've updated all of our skip the trip packets, so that's on our website. So if you don't want to come in, you don't have time, we have packets that you can fill out, drop the paperwork off to us or mail it to us. So you don't have to come in, and we get those processed within 2 days of receiving them. So it's pretty quick turnaround for us. And all of our staff is currently cross-training. So some counties only allow certain staff to do renewals or do new titles. Our staff is going to be fully trained to do every transaction. So doesn't matter whose desk you sit at, they know how to process your documents. We also have what they call a third-party transaction. It's a new state program where dealerships can opt into title and register your vehicle for you. So right now we have most of our larger dealerships, they participate in that third-party transaction. They haven't started plating them, but they definitely title them, which helps process their paperwork so people can get their plates a lot quicker. So we're hoping that we'll get more dealerships on board with that. And then about 33% of our customers purchase the Parks Pass in Mesa County. So you can opt in to get a Parks Pass when you renew your plates. And we're at 33% for Mesa County. And so that puts us in the top 10 of counties for all 64 counties. So.
And that's opt-in, right?
Yeah, you opt in for
not
the
a-
year or you opt out. Yeah, and it's $29. So, and I believe if you go to Parks and Rec, it's over $80 to get that Parks Pass. So it's a significant savings for people to get that Parks Pass.
But my question was, it's an opt-in, not an opt-out, right?
You can opt out. So if you say, we ask you if you want the Parks Pass, and if you say no, then we don't charge you that
Okay.
$29.
Okay.
But you can't opt in the middle of the year.
I
You
guess.
have to wait till your next renewal cycle.
Okay.
So we oversee the recording division. So looking at the recording division does marriage license, they record your deeds of trust. Any document that you need recorded, they're the record keepers of those documents. And you can see in 2022, we've seen a significant decrease in recorded documents. So if you look at, 2022, we saw around 37,000 documents that we recorded. And in 2023, we saw 30,000. It's about a 17% decrease in recording documents that we're seeing, and mostly because of the interest rate. That interest rate directly affects recorded documents because nobody's refinancing or buying houses at a higher rate that they used to with the lower interest rate. So marriage license increased a little bit, but we run about the same throughout. And then a couple of things that we've done that we want to let the public know is they can sign up for what we call it's really not a fraud alert, but more of a notification alert to say that something's been recorded. So you can sign up on our website. It's a free service that we offer, so you don't have to pay these companies that are on your television saying, sign up with us for fraud protection, and we'll tell you if anything is recorded. This system does the same for you. So, and it's a free service, so you can go on and sign up for that for free on our website. The other thing that we're doing too, additional to that, that's not required by law at all, but we're sending out notifications if anybody records like a quit claim deed or beneficiary deed or any of those things that don't normally go through a title company. If those are recorded, we're going to automatically just send a letter in the mail saying, hey, we saw this recorded. And it just gives that person an extra notification to say if there was something fraudulent, that they can act on that a lot quicker. So our fraud alert system, it does take a couple weeks before everything's, verified in our system. But with the letter, it goes out the next day. So we're pretty proud of that additional step that we're taking. So the public knows if something is recorded fraudulently on there or potentially fraudulently on their property. And then finally, elections. So elections is very busy. We have 3 elections this year. We just got wrapped up with our primary. So I like statistics, but in Mesa County, we looked at the voter registration in 2023. We had around 109,000 registered voters. As you can see, the unaffiliated or the high active registration that we have. And then we pulled these numbers in May of 2024, and we had over 110. Again, the unaffiliated tend to be our highest registered population in Mesa County. And it's ever changing. Our registration, we update that daily. So we get new registration, we get people that withdraw or they move out of county and those. So we consistently work on our voter registration data. And then in the turnout, so in March 2024 presidential primary, we sent out a little over 107,000 ballots, and we received 49,000 voted ballots returned. So it was about a 46% turnout. In the June primary, we sent out around 108, and we saw a little over 36,000 come back in, which is only a 34% turnout. So it was a much lower turnout than we anticipated. In September, we'll start gearing up for our general election. We anticipate a long ballot due to ballot initiatives and questions, and we anticipate a high voter turnout in November. We also hold open houses for our elections. So I like to do our open houses and our tours during an election so people can actually see ballots being processed and how it's tabulated from the start to the finish. So we'll be holding more open houses in October and early November. We'll get those dates out, and if anybody's interested, we put it out on our Facebook, but you can also email us your email. We'll put you on the list to email you those dates as well. And so we're very proud of our staff at the Clerk and Recorder's office. They work really hard for Mesa County, and they're a great bunch of staff that we have. Guess howdy.
I had one. I was surprised that the Clifton DMV went from 14,000 last year to about 31,000 this year, or 22 to 23. Do you know why?
Typically, it's because they had Clifton closed and for a while, and even during the COVID period, it was not open. And so I think the trend is it takes the people to realize that it's back open before they start going there. So we see that there's an uptick as people learn that it's back open.
And then it said you had one in the courthouse, as in this courthouse?
Correct. So we have, it's not open to the public, but we have, because we ran out of room at Central Services. So we still have to have people answer the phone, process renewals, process our mortgage mail. So we have a staff back here at the courthouse that processes everything in the back scenes so we can focus on our staff being online to help the customers. So that's what this office is for, is to start back office paperwork. It is also our training facility. So if we get new hires, they train at the courthouse before we put them on the line.
All right, thank you.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Hey, Bobbie, real quick, can you expand or just touch briefly on your partnerships with cities and towns and municipalities when it comes to their elections?
Yeah, so with municipalities, this year we couldn't really partner with any municipalities because we had 3 elections to get ready for. So after we finish up one, we're always working on the next one. So the smaller towns like Fruita, Palisade had their election in April, but we were still finishing up the March presidential primary. So unfortunately, we couldn't partner with them to help them. We do offer them assistance if they need it. We offer them, guidance, or we also offer them our ballot box so that they can use that. So like Palisade used our ballot box during their election in April, and same with Fruita. So we try to partner with them. The city, we are going to run their election in April of next year because we don't have another election until November of 2025. So we are partnering with the city of Grand Junction to run their city election. So we hope the hopes is that everybody would actually change their charter to contract with us in November. And so that would be a lot more consistent across the valley if we ran the elections and everybody chartered with us so that we could run them, but because of their charters, they have to change their charters typically to move their elections to November.
Would there be a higher turnout if
I believe
everybody
it would
was
be-
voting in November?
I believe there would be a higher turnout. And it's also really cost effective for the taxpayers. So we looked at the data from the city election that they ran a year or so ago. They ran their own city election, I believe in 2023, and it was at a significant higher rate of tax dollars that they used to get that. I don't have the data with me today, but it was significantly higher. And what we quote them is significantly lower. Is probably, I think, around 40 to 50,000, and they paid almost 80 to 100,000 last time. And then if they, coordinate with us in November, that significantly reduces it. I'd say around 10 to 15,000. So it'd be a significant savings for the taxpayers. And so we hope that we can get the municipalities on board to coordinate with us in November.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being open to that. Appreciate that. Thank you. I think that's it. Thank you.